Picture a place where time stands still, where whispers of the past echo through crumbling stones. What if I told you some of these ancient ruins hide secrets so unsettling, they're better left undisturbed? Today, we're venturing into the world's most mysterious and forbidden archaeological sites, places shrouded in legends and inexplicable events. These aren't just historical landmarks, they're gateways to stories that defy explanation. From curses that cling to the air to anomalies that puzzle scientists, we're about to uncover why some doors to the past should never be opened. So, buckle up as we explore the unexplained stories from ancient ruins you should never, ever visit. Our first stop is Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, a site that completely rewrote human history. Discovered in the 1990s, this complex of massive carved stones is estimated to be 12,000 years old. That's more than 6,000 years older than Stonehenge and 7,000 years older than the pyramids of Giza. Here's the mystery. It was built by hunter-gatherers. Before the invention of pottery, writing, or even the wheel, these ancient people quarried, transported, and erected colossal pillars weighing up to 20 tons. The pillars are covered in intricate carvings of animals like lions, snakes, and vultures. Figures that archaeologists believe represent powerful cosmic or spiritual symbols. But how did a society without organized agriculture or metal tools achieve such a monumental feat of engineering? Mainstream archaeology suggests it was a temple, a gathering place for rituals. But some theorists propose a more radical idea, that Göbekli Tepe wasn't just a temple, but an astronomical observatory, or perhaps a site to record a catastrophic global event, like a comet impact that triggered a mini ice age. The most baffling part, after about 1,000 years of use, the entire site was deliberately and carefully buried. Why would its creators spend centuries building this marvel only to entomb it forever? Was it to protect it, or to hide something powerful within? The true purpose of Göbekli Tepe remains one of archaeology's greatest enigmas. Next, we journey to the windswept Orkney Islands of Scotland, to a Neolithic settlement so well preserved it's called the Scottish Pompeii. This is Skara Brae. Buried under sand dunes for over 4,000 years, it was uncovered by a powerful storm in 1850. It offers an incredible snapshot of village life from 5,000 years ago, with stone beds, dressers, and even a sophisticated drainage system. But the story of its abandonment is what truly chills the bone. Around 2500 BC, the entire community vanished. There are no signs of war, no evidence of a plague or natural disaster. It's as if the inhabitants simply walked away from their homes one day and never returned. Some archaeologists believe a massive sandstorm forced a sudden evacuation, but the site itself was buried gradually over time, not in one single event. This leads to more speculative theories. Local folklore speaks of a curse laid upon the village by a vengeful shaman, forcing the people to flee into the sea. Other tales whisper of strange lights in the sky and the abduction of the entire village by otherworldly beings. While these are just legends, the stark emptiness of Skara Brae, combined with the suddenness of its desertion, leaves an unsettling question hanging in the salt-laced air. Where did everyone go? The silence of these stone houses holds a secret that archaeologists are still struggling to comprehend. Now, let's travel to the remote deserts of Peru, to the Nazca lines. These are giant geoglyphs, massive designs etched into the desert floor between 500 BC and 500 AD. There are hundreds of them, ranging from simple lines and geometric shapes to complex depictions of animals like hummingbirds, spiders, and monkeys. Some of these figures are over 1,200 feet long, so vast that they can only be truly appreciated from the air. This immediately raises the question, why create art that you can't see from the ground? And more importantly, how did the Nazca people create these perfectly proportioned figures without an aerial perspective? The mainstream theory is that they were created for religious purposes, perhaps as offerings to gods in the sky who could look down upon them. Another idea is that the lines formed a giant astronomical calendar, mapping the stars and marking solstices. But, of course, There are more fringe theories. Some believe the lines were landing strips for ancient astronauts, giant signals for extraterrestrial visitors. While there's no evidence for this, the precision and scale of the Nazca lines are genuinely mind-boggling. Adding to the mystery, some of the figures depict creatures not native to the region, like a monkey from the Amazon rainforest hundreds of miles away. It shows the Nazca people were well-traveled, but it doesn't explain the overwhelming impulse to carve these titanic messages into the earth. They remain a silent, sprawling puzzle under the Peruvian sun. Our journey now takes us deep into the Cambodian jungle, to the sprawling temple complex of Angkor Wat. Built in the 12th century, it's the largest religious monument in the world, a masterpiece of Khmer architecture. But nestled within its intricate carvings is something that shouldn't be there. Among the detailed depictions of Hindu deities, mythical creatures, and historical events, there's a clear carving of a stegosaurus. Yes, a dinosaur. Paleontologists only started assembling dinosaur skeletons in the 19th century. So how could a 12th century artisan possibly know what one looked like? Skeptics argue it could be a rhinoceros or a boar with a leafy background that just happens to resemble the plates of a stegosaurus. They suggest it's a modern hoax, carved later to attract tourists. However, analysis of the stone's weathering suggests the carving is as old as the rest of the temple. Believers see it as proof of the extraordinary. Could ancient civilizations have coexisted with creatures we thought were long extinct? Or did they discover and interpret fossilized remains, developing a knowledge of paleontology centuries before the Western world? Or is it something else entirely? This single carving challenges our understanding of history and the knowledge possessed by our ancestors. It's an anomaly that sits quietly in plain sight, a paleontological puzzle carved in ancient stone. Finally, we dare to visit the Paris catacombs. This isn't an ancient ruin in the traditional sense, but it is a vast, underground city of the dead that holds some of modern history's most terrifying unexplained stories. In the late 18th century, Parisian cemeteries were overflowing, posing a serious health risk. The solution? Exhume the bodies and move the skeletal remains into 200 miles of underground tunnels and limestone quarries beneath the city. The bones of over 6 million people line these corridors, often arranged in artistic, macabre displays. While a small section is open to the public, the vast majority of the network is off-limits. A dangerous and unmapped labyrinth known as the Cataphiles Playground. It's in these forbidden zones that the truly strange stories originate. In the early 2000s, explorers discovered a fully equipped movie theater deep within the tunnels, complete with a large screen, seats, projection equipment, and even a bar. When they returned with the police, everything was gone. A note was left behind, which read, "Do not try to find us." Even more disturbing is the found footage that surfaced in 2004. A man, exploring the catacombs alone, suddenly becomes panicked. The camera shows him running frantically through the dark tunnels, with the sounds of his heavy breathing filling the audio. He drops the camera and runs off into the darkness, never to be seen again. To this day, no one knows who he was or what he was running from. The Paris catacombs are a stark reminder that some places, filled with the weight of history and death, are best left alone. From buried cities to impossible artifacts and chilling disappearances, these ancient sites hold more questions than answers. They challenge our neat timelines of history and remind us that the past is a far stranger and more complex place than we can possibly imagine. What do you think is the most plausible explanation for these mysteries? Is it lost technology, forgotten history, or something beyond our understanding? Let me know your theories in the comments below. We've journeyed through history's most unsettling chapters, but there is so many more stories waiting to be told. If you're fascinated by the unexplained and love exploring the world's greatest enigmas, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss where our next adventure takes us. Thanks for watching and stay curious.